Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be escaping the narcissistic relationship. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please subscribe. So escaping the narcissistic relationship, this is something that most people need to do. Some people get discarded and yet they still have to escape the relationship. Some people remove themselves, escaping the relationship. Other individuals are currently in the narcissistic fog, the zombie-like, trance-like state where they don't know what's going on. They haven't found the wisdom yet. They are looking for the answers and they perhaps haven't found my channel. So all three of these people, using these as examples, are going to need to escape the relationship. It's my hope, at least. Now let's say that you were discarded, and I mention that frequently on the channel. If you were, my heart goes out to you. It's one of the most challenging, difficult periods of your life, I can assure you. But then again, so was the narcissistic relationship. But if this happened, then the narcissist was essentially saying, hey, your gas tank is empty. I'm done. I'm going to move on to a new source of supply and jump on to that train, and I'm going to ride that one out. That's what they're thinking. Now, that is one part, but the part I'm referring to, escaping the narcissistic relationship, you didn't escape it because most likely you didn't know what narcissism was. So when you were discarded, you had to process things. You had to find my channel. You had to get that needle in a haystack, get and understand the glossary and the definitions, the terms such as stonewalling, the smear campaign, silent treatment, gaslighting, object constancy, radical acceptance, and many others. But you had to do that. Now, that's one part you had to do. Another part you had to do is stop the rumination, which is very challenging in and of itself. Another thing you had to identify and understand that most likely most of your support system has blown up. It's gone. And many of your alleged friends, whether they were flying monkeys or not, they're gone, they're disappeared. Now, having said those few things, escaping the narcissistic relationship, when you are where I just mentioned, perhaps you're isolated in your house, perhaps you have lost your job, maybe you have physical issues, ailments, maybe your bank account has no money in it these days, maybe any or all of those things, and you are coupling that with understanding what narcissism was and understanding that the person who just discarded you was not who you thought they were. This is not a good place to be. It's a very daunting place to be. I was there. I know what it's like. It is challenging, to say the least. But this is when you will have to figure out exactly how to get you from where you currently are and or were to where you want to be, across that bridge, to reach the summit, to reach the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference. Now, to get from where you were when you were discarded to get to where I just mentioned, the pinnacle of indifference, that will take a lot of time. It will take processing and healing childhood wounds. It will take processing the relationship, learning the definitions, how they compared with you and your relationship, why you stayed in it so long, how you fell for the mask, your beliefs, your core value beliefs, why you tolerated the poor behavior. I'll tell you right now, you may say to yourself, wow, Andrew, that's kind of heavy. It's very heavy and it's very challenging. On this channel, however, what I do is I empower people. I let them know this wasn't their fault. Perhaps they were a people pleaser, or they didn't have boundaries, or they couldn't say no, the strongest word in the English language. Perhaps they fell for the mask super quickly and jumped into another romantic relationship, or relationship rather quickly, when they were at their most vulnerable period of time. Example, let's say somebody passed away in their family. Maybe it was their spouse, maybe it was their mom or dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, somebody, and you were very vulnerable, and lo and behold, you're looking for someone to understand you, and here comes the wolf in sheep's clothing, i.e. the narcissist, and boom, here we are. So this is exactly what happens. But escaping the narcissistic relationship, how to escape it is, I'll tell you right now, I'm using the discarded example. And if you exit it yourself, this part applies to you as well. It's not escaping, an example, putting a Band-Aid on the wounds and putting a Band-Aid on all the abuse. No, that's not what it is. It's getting away from the narcissist, number one. And by the way, if you were discarded, it's very challenging, but in the long run, you will see that perhaps was a very huge pivotal part of your life, because one more day in a narcissistic relationship, it's not good for you, and it wasn't good for me. But having said that, escaping the narcissistic relationship, it's not just getting away from them, but that is the number one part. It's not just processing the relationship, but you have to. That's the number two part. It's not understanding that you are essentially on an island and no one's going to come knock on your door and save you. You're going to have to do it yourself. That's a huge part. That's number 3. But understanding that the relationship didn't serve you and breaking the trauma bond, which is number 4, if you were in it, it's a huge thing. It's a massive thing to accomplish. Now, remember, you weren't taught narcissism in school. You weren't taught toxic behavior in school, most likely. So you just went around throughout life thinking, oh, that person's a nice person, or they're not so nice, or they think like me, or they have some issues, or, you know, they get a little upset once in a while, or, oh, that's just so-and-so. Well, in this day and age, those things don't fly anymore. What flies is accountability. And who is not accountable in the narcissistic relationship? That's right, it's the narcissist. Remember, the narcissist is never accountable. They can't introspect. They can't love. They have zero empathy. What they want to do is weaponize your beautiful abundance and all of your beautiful attributes against yourself. They don't want you believing in yourself. They want you believing in the false narrative of the mask. Now, having said all these things, escaping the narcissistic relationship, it takes a lot of work that you will have to put in yourself. Healing, growing, meditating, journaling, seeing a therapist who knows about narcissism, and my hope is, unfortunately, has experienced the relationship themselves firsthand, so they can walk you down the path with you the same way I do. But all these things, watching videos, shortening your social circle, these things over time will be very challenging to do, but they will be the path. That is the healing path. You're going to have to pick yourself up by the bootstraps, dust yourself off. You're going to have to go to work on yourself. That is a good thing. Now, it's not fun to do, I can assure you, but when you do it and you understand that each and every day you're getting stronger, and each and every day you see more and more light at the end of the tunnel, that's when you're escaping the relationship more and more and more. Now, again, I mentioned the Band-Aid a few moments ago. Post-narcissistic relationship, you're going to have a mountain of work in front of you. You're going to have to heal. You're going to have to really process things. You can't just jump to another relationship. You can't just think, oh, okay, I'll give it 2 weeks and I'll be healed. It doesn't work like that at all. It takes much time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes resilience, courage, fortitude, dedication, strength, commitment, and understanding yourself, and understanding that the narcissist can't change. They never loved you. They never cared about you. They cared about what you provided. So get the message. If you were discarded, again, I'm going to share this. For you veterans on the channel, you can please drop comments below if you so choose to do so. For the newbies, take this with a grain of salt, because you may not understand it right now. And I'm not trying to trigger you or upset you, but I'm letting you know something. If you were discarded, going through the discard is very, very challenging. I've mentioned that many times. But once you heal properly, you will understand that that was a blessing in disguise. It really was. Now, you may not see it that way right now, and I get it. I didn't see it that way either. But then again, I had to put in a mountain of work into myself, and now I see it for what it was. Because I can give you this example right now in the video. If you had an option to stay in the toxic, narcissistic, draining cesspool relationship, or to be free from it, although you had to do work and heal yourself and learn about yourself, I'll tell you right now, the easy way out is to stay in the relationship. But then you wouldn't be yourself. You wouldn't be authentic. You would be living someone else's life, and you would be enduring abuse. That's why I'm sharing what I'm sharing. And believe me, I can do a whole series on that if we want me to. I just want you to understand, if the relationship ended recently for you, you're not going to get that message. For you veterans, please help the newbies out and let them know that in time they will heal if they do the proper steps, if they take the proper steps and focus on themselves and not focus on what they could have done in the past. Because remember, the narcissist, they will have you thinking everything possible. Because why? Because they don't want you escaping the relationship. Even if they discarded you, what they want to do many times is they want to compare what they're up to with what you are up to. And now they're not going to tell you that, but believe me, they're watching you on social media, or they have some friends that are making fake accounts and watching what you're doing, etc. It's what they do. And keep this in mind. The narcissist is always in competition with you, whether you know it or not. Not just you, though, but everybody. And what you want to do, I'm telling you firsthand on this video, what you want to do to fully break away from the narcissistic abusive cycle and break the trauma bond and just close the chapter on these people is you do want to be the one that got away. I will tell you that right now. Whether, again, you were discarded or you left the relationship, once you understand what you were up against, which wasn't a stable, healthy relationship, it was a draining, toxic relationship, and that the individual you were thinking about did not have your best interest at heart. Once you get that message, then what you want to do is disappear. Close the chapter of the book on the narcissist. Understand that you had to go through that relationship. It almost took you down, but it didn't. As a matter of fact, you are now galvanized. You are in the third version of yourself. At least that's my hope. Either you are there or you are well on your way. And bear that in mind. There are three versions of you. The first version of you is before you met the narcissist. The second version of you is when you were in the narcissistic relationship. And the third version of you is post-narcissistic relationship. Once you've healed and you understand that you had to go through the relationship, it's over, it's done. You take the lifelong learning lessons from the relationship. You apply them to present day. You now have boundaries. You shorten your social circle. You live your best life. You reclaim your life back, which means you enjoy your hobbies, travel, read a book, write a book, take a class, teach a class, start a business, whatever you're going to do. But it's narcissist free. It's drama free. And it's in your time. It's at your speed. It's during your rhythm. That's what you need to do. So escaping the narcissistic relationship, it's no small task. It really isn't. It's something that must be done though. And many people are currently in a position they don't want to be in. Perhaps they're stuck in their house trying to sell it. Perhaps they're waiting for the divorce papers to be signed. Perhaps they're waiting for the assets to be divided. Perhaps they're waiting for a mediator. Perhaps they're waiting for the lawyer who has gone away and the case isn't going as fast as they wanted to. Perhaps they're waiting for child custody. Perhaps they're waiting to move from their location, their city, their town, their country. Perhaps they're waiting for a settlement. Who knows? There's so many things, a business to be sold. There could be so many things that people are waiting for. But my hope is if A, you have exited the relationship, that you are as far away from the narcissist as possible and you've blocked them, gone no contact, etc. If B, you are looking to exit the relationship, that you have a plan and you follow it through and you do it methodically, slowly, take your time, and you remove yourself from the relationship piece by piece, bit by bit. And number three, if this is the first video you're consuming and you're understanding what narcissism is, welcome to the community. My hope is you're getting awakened and you're becoming awakened and aware. And my hope is you're getting your first light bulb moment and understanding, wow, everything that Andrew talks about, that was me or that is me. Oh my goodness, that's what the person I'm in the relationship with, it's a narcissist or a toxic individual. There you go. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. Remember, escaping the narcissistic relationship, once you've escaped it and you've processed things and you've healed, there's no way you should not be having boundaries. And there's no reason for you not to take the lessons and apply them to present day and to pay it forward. In other words, if you see some toxic behavior going on, do what you can. I'm saying maybe help somebody out that can't see the kind of relationship they're in. Again, with caution. I'm just saying, pay attention to the signs. They're all around you. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I love doing it. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, you guys.